What up, everyone? Welcome back to Week by Week, and it's been a minute to say the least. Tyler, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Just excited to get these podcasts going again.
So, what have you been doing over the last 2 months since we sat down and recorded?
Well, I've been watching some football, and digging into some Bears quarterbacks, well, potential quarterbacks. We will be talking about that in this video, so
I've been
that'll come later on.
I just been doing the same old, watching football, and been doing a lot of research on like the draft and stuff because this is like the first year I've truly got into like draft prospects and stuff.
hmm
It's I've got like this I don't know how you do it, but I've got like this Google Drive, like a folder, and it's basically got
Yeah.
like notes on it for certain players, and the way I divide it up is by team.
Oh, that's cool. I actually just use like Microsoft Word and just use different documents for different things.
But yeah, so I think for the first episode back, I feel like it's only right that we talk about the trade that basically blew up the NFL world. Let's talk about Matthew Stafford for a second. So, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to know. Tell me, give me a prediction, just a lot, not like a record prediction, just a light prediction on how the Rams and Lions will do next year, and give me tell me who you think won the trade, and then I'll tell you mine.
I'm actually going to believe that both teams won the trade. Now, Detroit is going to be better in the long run. LA is kind of lacking some picks there with the whole Jalen Ramsey trade and now the Stafford trade, of course. But the thing with the LA
LA
Rams is
off,
that
off topic, but LA hasn't had a first round pick in how long now?
not 3 years,
All right. Anyway, sorry. Who was their last?
something like that.
Was their
Look,
last first round pick? When was Jared Goff drafted?
2017.
Was he their last first round pick?
Honestly, I think so.
All right. Anyway,
I'm
sorry.
pretty sure.
Keep going. Sorry.
All right, well, I like the trade for both teams. Now, I do think LA gave up a decent bit, but you had to get him because there were many teams interested in Stafford.
hmm
I think Stafford is a top 10 quarterback or
Listen,
fringe top
a
10.
healthy Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. And there's some stuff I want to say real quick before we move on. Listen, I seen a bunch of, I read some stuff on Twitter about what people are saying, and
hmm
I seen people, there was one person, and it literally disgusted me. They said people are acting like that Jared Goff isn't on the same level or above Matthew Stafford. I was, I,
Oh my God.
I paused for a second. I was about to respond to them and be like, all right, do you really think, not no hate on Jared Goff. I mean, obviously he's a phenomenal player to be in the NFL, and he started in the Super Bowl. No matter how I feel about him, but and I'm sorry, but Jared Goff is not on the level or close to Matthew Stafford. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And like and truly, if anyone's watching this and thinks different, without being rude, tell us why you think Jared Goff is on that level.
Yeah.
I would actually love to know. Not even trying to be an asshole or fight back at you. I want to know. Seriously. Maybe, like I've always said, you can't change my opinion, but you can give me reasons to rethink it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome if y'all could just leave some comments below.
I,
Maybe your thoughts on the trade or maybe just thoughts on anything else in general. And we could
so
actually cover those comments in our next episode.
completely unfootball related, but it's been snowing all day here and it hasn't mounted to nothing, and I'm pissed about it. Anyway, that's completely unrelated, but sorry. Finish up what you were saying.
All right, well, I love the trade for both sides. I think it makes LA a legit Super Bowl contender. Now, you may disagree with me right there, but their defense is top notch. I don't necessarily like Jalen Ramsey, but he's a top corner. I love Aaron Donald. He's the best defensive player in the league. You have middle linebackers now. You have a good quarterback. You got weapons. You got an offensive line. You got an up and coming running back in Cam Akers. I think this team could really make a Super Bowl run.
Definitely,
And to be
definitely.
honest, I think they had the roster for it last season. Well, this season pretty much, but I'm gonna say last season. Last season, but if you just look at it, all they needed was a quarterback. That was literally it.
hmm
Every single loss pointed to Jared Goff. Now you get that guy with Matthew Stafford who can make those plays downfield, and you don't have to like just come up with a bunch of like bootleg play actions, anything like that. So you get your guy, you got a top-notch defense, you got weapons, you got all this. So I love the trade for them. It makes them contenders. Now for Detroit's side, you've been in rebuild for what, 60 years now?
Pushing 70, yeah.
Yeah, you're getting there. But I like it. Stafford wanted out. You get a young quarterback. I mean, he has a big contract, but he's still what, 20?
Jared Goff, 25, 26, something like that.
25, 26. Yeah, he's young. He's relatively young. Yeah, he has a big contract, but you ain't going to be winning anytime soon.
Actually, I seen a thing where I think it's in 2023 they can actually cut him with no penalty.
Yeah, so I mean, I can get by it. Could really see them still drafting the quarterback though. Really could.
I think the only way that they draft a quarterback is if Trey Lance is where they pick. But if not, then I feel like it's got to be a receiver like a Waddle or whoever's there.
I've actually been reading some stuff that they're actually wanting to bring Galladay back. I don't think Galladay wants to be back.
I don't think Galladay wants back though. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, who would want to be back?
I mean, because they're probably going to lose Galladay and Marvin Jones in free agency.
I'd say Jones for sure.
If you lose both of them, and Galladay, is a number one, and then Marvin Jones is a very, very, very solid receiver and will benefit any team he goes to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like Marvin Jones has been on the brink of like an underrated receiver over the last couple of years. I truly do. But
oh yeah, I like him.
I mean, numbers are there, but it's if you lose both of them, I mean, who the fuck does Jared Goff throw to? TJ Hawkinson?
I mean, Hawkinson. You got DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, but who's at the receiver spot?
DeAndre Swift. I like DeAndre Swift. I think he's going to be pretty good, but there is no like receivers for. I mean, because even now, outside of Galladay and Marvin Jones, who the fuck, like receiver wise, who do they have?
Something Cephas. I know him. He had a big player.
I'm just gonna be 100% honest with y'all. I can't name a guy. I can't.
I pretty much just know that Cephas guy. I could be wrong. I think he's like relatively young. He did have a few catches against us. He's pissing me off during that first game of the season. But anyways, I really like the trade for Detroit with the 2 first-round picks. And wait, was it a third also, or was it a fourth?
It was the third this year.
Third this year, and you get a first next year, and the first year after that. I really like it. I mean, especially if he's wanting gone, I think that's as good as a deal as you're going to get. What's your thoughts on it?
See, me and you differ a little bit. I think it's tough because on the Detroit side, you're getting back a former number 1 overall pick who has, Super Bowl experience. But the thing is, his contract, it's terrible. I mean, I think everyone can agree on that. Yeah. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, way overpaid.
And you're getting 2 first-round picks, and just by looking at that, you're like, okay, 2 first-round picks, that's good value. And it is. You're not wrong. But the thing is, those picks are probably going to be very late first-round picks. Because
you're right.
As long as everyone on that Rams team stays healthy, and I'm mainly talking about Matt Stafford because he does have to stay healthy. Of course, in a perfect world, we want Stafford to stay healthy and have a monster year, playoffs, whatever. But the sad thing is about that, we don't always live in a perfect world when it comes to sports. So, you're getting back a solid quarterback. I'll say he's a solid quarterback who's overpaid, and then you're getting back 2. It's basically 4 players because of the 3 picks, and then Goff. So 4 players in exchange for Stafford.
I mean, so, I like it. I really do.
I like it from Detroit's side because you are getting back, 2 first-round picks, and what that shows is they're fully committed to rebuild. They're gonna get. They should have been committed to the. They've been committed to the rebuild for about 60 years, but maybe they're officially committed now.
Yep.
So, and realistically speaking, like a lot of Detroit's problems wasn't even with the offense, because I do truly, when that offense is healthy, that's a good offense. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad offense. It's not bad.
It's not a bad offense. It's that defense. The defense is terrible.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
terrible.
it kind of reminds me of like a Falcons situation in a stance, where it's like they've got the offense. You could technically think that they're in win now mode, but they don't have the defense. And the way I see like a Falcon situation is like, is there really a defensive guy in this draft that you take that changes everything?
No, I really don't.
And it's the same thing with the Lions. And the Lions don't even pick as high as the Falcons. It's, is there a guy that you can take that changes everything? And of course, you can argue guys like Micah Parsons, whatever. But there is no, like last year, for example, with like a Chase Young, okay? Chase Young is a game changer player. I mean, when he was healthy this year, of course, he had some injury problems, but when he was healthy this year, he was everywhere.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he's literally he's like that hyper kid at recess that runs the mile in 4 minutes and then wants more. Or like in football workouts, he's the dude that lifts 300 pounds, and then all the other scrawny ass people. I mean, that's Chase Young. Chase Young is a true game changer on defense. So the way I see it is like, is there another guy like that in that draft? In this draft? And the answer is no. There's not. While I do think coming off the edgewise and stuff, there are some good prospects in this draft. There really are. There's a lot. But there is no Chase Youngs or
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So,
100% agree.
So I think that for a Detroit, standpoint, you're getting back the 2 first-round picks, which who knows? I mean, there's a lot of great, if they are late first-round picks, like we think that they will be in the late 20s, maybe even, 30, 31, 32, depending on if they go to a Super Bowl, if they win, whatever. And we do see guys all the time that go late first and end up, they become really good players. But when you get first round picks back after trading your franchise guy, you kind of want back another franchise guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't know with those late first round picks if they can get that. Now, granted, they'll still have their own picks, right? They haven't made any trades. They'll still have their own picks. And those trades,
they'll still have their own.
And those picks are probably going to be, for the next couple years, top 5, top 3, whatever. So maybe you get those franchise changers there, but and then you draft, capable surrounding players with those other firsts. So that's so. If we're looking at it from that standpoint, Detroit definitely won because in 2 years they can cut. Okay, let me reword this. If you're looking at it just from the trade, you see 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, and then a young quarterback who's played in the Super Bowl. Forget his name is Jared Goff. Forget what pick those are. No matter where in the first round, you think, okay, Detroit won. But for me, when you go more in depth, it does kind of make me think it's like, did Detroit really win? I mean, because at least we both agree Stafford is, when healthy, a top 10 quarterback. So you're giving up a top 10 quarterback for, I'll just come out and say it, a guy who I think's been carried by his defense.
Oh, 100%.
And 2 potential not really so good players, because I mean it's not like the Lions. I mean, of course I don't, you probably have a certain amount of dislike towards the Lions being in that division, but
to be honest, no, because they're not really a threat.
Yeah, I mean it's just division things, but I mean,
yeah.
So you're giving up a top 10 QB for a player that I personally believe has been carried by his defense, and 2, as far as the first round pick goes, 2 potential okay players, just depending on how you draft. And the fact that it's the Lions, those players might not turn out so well.
Honestly, probably not. Because I swear, I think Detroit is the worst at developing talent.
Oh,
The
definitely.
worst.
Definitely. And it starts with coaching. I mean, it
Oh yeah.
truly does. It starts with coaching. But the Rams, of course, gave up 2 more first round picks. But you're giving up 2 first round picks for a legit chance at a Super Bowl. So, with that
Yeah,
being
they are.
said,
They're true. I feel like them and the Saints switch spots. You know what I mean?
yeah, I get what you're
I feel like
saying.
them and New Orleans just switched.
And
Like
and
they're
that
gonna fall
division
out.
next year, is going to be tough.
Yes, it is. Like really tough.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, because the thing is with that division, we could really see 11 and 12 win teams make it in as wild cards. Because,
Yep.
but I listen. I this is a stretch, but Stafford is my early pick for MVP next year. Now I don't. Now with that being said, I don't think that's going to happen. But it's just a fun thing to throw out there,
I don't hate that. I really don't. I could really see it with all the weapons around him.
Yeah, definitely. But that's how I think about it. And as far as next season goes, Rams are legit contenders, and Detroit may be lucky to win a game.
So how about Deshaun Watson?
This, it's actually just the other day he officially requested the trade.
Apparently it was weeks ago, but it was just now reported.
Yeah,
So
because we heard about the rumors weeks ago, but then we got the notification. I got it from Bleacher Report like 2 days ago that he had officially requested a trade. But then people on Twitter were saying, well, actually, he had been hinting at this since really the season, and it just never came out.
yeah. I mean, do you blame him?
No, I don't. Obviously, as a Titans fan, I have a certain level of hatred, essentially, for Deshaun Watson and the Texans. But I think Deshaun's a hell of a player. And if he was on a winning team this year, he put up an MVP season.
Oh yeah. So where are some destinations you think he could
I feel
potentially end up in?
I feel
Or
like
some-
the obvious number one. I feel like the obvious number one, like we've been seeing, is Miami.
I actually think it's the Jets. Just from everything I've heard lately, he really wants to be in New
I don't
York.
understand that.
I don't either at all.
Can you seriously? Can you explain it to me a little bit better? I don't get it. Why?
This is just from what I've heard. I mean, I get he loves New York. I get he likes that media, but I would much rather be a Giant than a Jet.
Definitely.
100%. And I don't see that at all. All I've really heard is that he likes that team and he loves the New York area. He's always up at Brooklyn Nets games watching them. I just don't understand it. If that case, just go ahead and say you want the Giants to be your number one. I mean, the Giants are in a million times better situation than the Jets.
Definitely.
A million times.
I
And plus, you would have to give up that number 2 overall pick.
We've also heard we've heard your Bears,
Oh man, I'd love that.
but we'll get to that in a second when we talk about the Bears. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Realistically, I don't know if Deshaun will actually, because of cap hit and stuff. I don't know if he could actually be dealt this offseason, because I was reading that
Actually,
about that.
his cap it's only 10 million. He's still technically on his last year of his rookie deal, and then that contract extension kicks in.
I thought it kicked in this year. Ooh.
No, it's this year it's 10 million, and then next year I think it goes up to 27 million.
I thought that kicked. All
30,
right, my bad
32
then.
million.
I thought that kicked in this
Yeah,
year.
that's why the Bears are all in on this. Because honestly, if he did have that contract extension this year, like it kicked in this year, there's no way we could afford him.
No way.
There's no way.
Most teams couldn't afford it. At least good, contending teams.
There's no way. So yeah, he's on his 5th year of his rookie deal.
I don't know, man. Wherever Deshaun ends up, I guess I do wish him the best. Glad he'll be out of our division, but
I do say this: the deadliest team for him to end up on is the San Francisco 49ers. The scariest by a mile.
yeah.
Like that is
But-
just terrifying.
Hey, man, we're in the AFC. That's not my problem.
That's my problem. We
Yeah, that's
play
your,
him next year.
that's your problem in the NFC.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wherever he goes, even though I don't really care for him. I wish him the best. He's a hell of a quarterback, hell of a player. But yeah, get the fuck out of the South. Next though, let's talk about Super Bowl.
Okay. But first of all, who you rooting for before we make our predictions?
Brady.
I'm rooting for Mahomes.
Shit.
It's hard for me to go either way. I do like the Chiefs, and I like how they built their team, but I don't like seeing back-to-back Super Bowl champions. That's just how I am. I'm not a really big fan of Brady because of just how much he wins. And that whole, the fighting the football incident, I wasn't too big of a fan of that.
No one even talks about that anymore. It's kind of crazy.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I think Tampa Bay's going to win, and my final score prediction is 38-35 Tampa Bay, but I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
It's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl.
It really is.
Hell of a Super Bowl. But, yeah, I don't necessarily like Brady. I mean, all the years, he's in the AFC and washed every team in the AFC. Multiple times, actually. I remember back, off topic, but you remember a couple years ago, the Titans made it in, of course, 9-7 season. They beat the Chiefs, and then we went on to play the Patriots in the divisional. And I remember Titans went up 14-0, and then Brady just shit on us.
Brady's just...
Bro, we went up 14-0 in the second quarter. And then the final score was 35-15 or 35-17.
Wow.
Of course we got our revenge. We got our revenge, but still.
Mm-hmm. It would have been crazy if Brady ended up in Chicago. It almost happened.
Bro,
dream.
Brady literally picked a team and was and I see this meme all the time, but he basically picked a team and was like, y'all want to go to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
And I do think it's funny that the Packers choked yet again. I really do.
Oh, I love it. I
just wanted to get you going. I just wanted to get you going.
Oh, man. I literally, guys, I had a song playing, and I sent a video of me dancing to it to all my friends. It's called, the Packers Suck or something.
We're all in
I was sitting there dancing a minute straight.
Me, him, and all of our friends are in a group chat. It's our little friend group or whatever. And we were fucking, or at least me and Tyler, because not everyone in the group is a big football fan. Really, it's just me and Tyler. My brother, in case y'all don't know, is a big Packers fan. I know Tyler knows that. My brother's a diehard Packers fan, but fun fact, he hates Aaron Rodgers, but anyway. And I was fucking with him so hard, because I watched it at his house. I was with him, and I was fucking with him so hard.
Oh, I bet he was pissed.
I was just man, they choked again. I was just going crazy.
I loved every second of it.
But that's an interesting topic though. Is what do the Packers do? But I think that's a future podcast topic. We can't talk about everything in the return.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Because we need some off-season topics.
Yeah,
after the draft and free agency, it's gonna get a little dry.
Mm-hmm.
But side note, how would you feel about doing an official week by week mock draft?
I would be down.
A first round mock draft.
I would be down.
Maybe we could probably do 2 rounds, actually.
I'd probably have to do a little more research, but I'd be down for it.
Definitely. The way I think the way we could do it is, I think I could set it up to where it'll record the mock draft and then they can just hear us talking, over it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting, but
it would be.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay 35-32.
All right, 38-35, 35-32.
But the reason I say that is I don't even necessarily like Brady. I don't, but whether you admit it or not, he's the GOAT. Whether people want to,
there's no debate.
Yeah, no, there is literally none at all. And if you think there is, you have issues. If you think there is, you don't watch football. You just don't. It, I mean, and I don't consider myself top tier football fan knowledge, whatever. But I think to an extent I definitely know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's enough for the Super Bowl. We'll come back with our reactions and stuff because it'll actually be that following. We'll probably record it that following Monday or Tuesday. By the way, a little schedule update. We're not on we used to record them every Wednesday night and upload them on Thursdays, but we're not really on that schedule anymore. Now it's more of just a what day a week can we record it, and then it'll be uploaded the next day. So we're recording this on today's Monday, right? Yeah, we're recording this on a Monday. You'll see it at some point tomorrow, Tuesday. But that's just a little schedule update. We're just not gonna stay on a certain schedule, especially in the off
Yeah,
season.
it's kind of tough. I don't know. Yes, it's hard being open, especially with school and everything
Well,
going
because I
on.
feel like if something big happens this off season, we need to just immediately hop on and record a 10-minute
Yeah,
something
I
talking
agree.
about it.
Yeah, we might actually start doing, instead of the hour-long podcast y'all see, we might actually break it up into maybe 20-minute videos
Yeah,
or maybe even shorter than that.
we're thinking about we're trying to make some big changes. The problem is it's a little bit on the techie side of things, and I'm not. I mean, I guess I'm okay with that stuff. I'm not the best, so
I don't even fool around with it. So
yeah. So the problem is I kind of gotta deal with that stuff, but
yeah,
not that I care, but it's just it can be time consuming. But we're
yeah.
gonna try. I bring up the thing to Tyler. I told him when we were texting before we recorded. I told him maybe we try to introduce it, at the start of next season. So the first episode where we do predictions and stuff, we introduce it then.
I'll be down for it.
We'll figure it out though. That's beyond the point right now. Let's talk about your Bears.
So obviously, ever since Cutler left, pretty much, and even whenever Cutler was there, we've had a big open quarterback position. Just to be honest, we've never
Yeah, I
really
was
had a
gonna say,
solid
what about even when
top tier
Cutler was
quarterback.
there?
I mean, when Cutler was there, he was an average quarterback. I'd say probably top 15 in the league. I mean, I'm not as big into it as I was now, but I know some stuff.
I didn't
It's
know
for a fun fact for y'all.
no Bears
I was getting ready
quarterback
to say
had
that.
ever thrown for over 4K yards. I never knew that.
Or 30 touchdowns.
I never knew. I knew Cutler did it one year, but he didn't do it in Chicago.
Yeah, it was Denver the year before he came to Chicago. I think he had 3.
I don't think any Titan ever has. I don't think. I know McNair definitely didn't. I think Tannehill actually broke the record for.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
But so talk to me about the quarterback. The open quarterback spot.
All right, so I'm gonna just give off some names. These may be realistic. Some of y'all, they may be unrealistic. I personally think it could happen, even if there's a slim chance. So I'm gonna give off a name first that I've actually been seeing around floating a lot. I actually asked you this last night. What's your thoughts on Jameis Winston to Chicago?
If it comes down to having to take a risk, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. Actually, I'm not a hater on Winston. I think he could really be something. I mean, you can't just throw 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and not be somewhat good.
Right.
That's just, yeah, the 30 interceptions were terrible, but there's just no way. You just don't have any skill if you can throw 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns.
He's definitely.
But he also has that. What?
No matter what people say about him, he's definitely a very, very talented quarterback.
He is.
And
I mean,
think a
if he
year
can just
behind
get
Drew Brees really benefited him.
Yeah, that's most of the reason why I would be willing to take a risk. But I'm going to say this with the quarterback later on I'm going to talk about. It would have to be a last resort. You strike out on every big name. That's the only way I'd see it happen.
How do you?
If you're Ryan Pace and you're Matt Nagy and you're on the hot seat like you are, you have to go. You got to get you an experienced quarterback who you know is going to produce for you.
How do you
Honestly,
feel about Matt Ryan?
Matt
Ryan to the Bears.
I like it and I don't like it. The age concerns me. I think he's a tad overrated. It's just my personal opinion. I just don't think he is close, nearly as close as what he used to be. Would I take him? Yes. Am I going to give up a first for him? No.
Hell no.
And some people are probably going to trash me for that. It will take a lot for me to even throw in a second.
I'd do a
I mean,
second.
you think about the contract, the age. You could probably talk me into it. It would just depend what else we gave up. I'm not giving up any of our young pieces. I'll tell you that.
Hell no.
And I'm not giving up a Mooney. I'm not giving up anything like that. But I would take it. Age is a problem. Contract is how many years has he got? It's over 30 million, but I just don't know how many years he's got.
I'm trying to think of what I looked at I was watching a mock draft and someone was talking about what year he can actually be cut with no penalty, but I don't think I don't remember what year it was. Actually, I
would
feel
have
like
to be a
it's
team-friendly contract too, or somewhat team-friendly.
I feel like it's kind of
3 years.
I feel like it's 2 years.
I would take it if it was 2 years. I mean, I wouldn't give up a lot, but I would take it.
But even then, though, even if you do trade for Matt Ryan, I'm still looking for a quarterback because he's 36.
Yeah, maybe I would hate this, but I could realistically see at a Kyle Trask in round 2, sit behind Ryan for a year or two. I know
if
we're
Trask
not going to get Mac Jones in the second round.
if Trask and Jones are there, you've got to take Jones.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I think Jones will be a first-round pick for sure.
I think he ends up in Washington.
2020. Us, Indy or Washington. Yeah, I could see that for sure. But anyways, a town around him. He had Jalen Waddle. He had Devontae Smith. He had is it Najee or Najee?
Najee.
How do you Harris? He had some dudes. But if you can just see the way he hits in stride, and just he places the ball so perfectly. Okay, trash me for this, but I saw this. Bill Belichick even said it. There are glimpses of Tom Brady. He's not going to be Tom Brady, but he can hit in stride. Smart. He can read the defense. He shows glimpses of how Tom Brady plays.
Definitely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
I'm not comparing him or nothing, but he just plays like his style.
Definitely.
Very accurate.
I agree.
He has an underrated arm, in my opinion. Which I think Brady has one of the best arms in the league. And some people are going to disagree with that. I know that. But if you just watch him this season, holy crap. But anyways, I'm going to get off Brady's dick for a second. But yeah, I mean, I don't like Kyle Trask, though. I will say that. He's always relying on one guy, it seems like. Yeah, he's got, I forgot his first name, but Tony at wide receiver. Oh, God, what's his name?
Wait, who?
That's something Tony. The Florida Gators wide receiver.
Kadarius?
Yeah, Tony. I mean, yeah, but if you just watch some of the tape, he's always going to Kyle Pitts.
He gets brought out
Always.
a lot.
A lot. Like, I was sitting there watching film. I think I saw 2 throws that were actually, like, good throws that the receiver didn't bail him out on. And there was one. The receiver was one on a corner out to the end zone. I think they were at the 15-yard line. And then someone just ran, like, a little 5 and in. Or, like, a 10 and in.
Mm-hmm.
And the 10 and in, I mean, double coverage, the safety actually went over to him, and the dude in the corner was wide open. He had 5 seconds in the pocket. He throws the dude in double coverage. Like, I just don't see him being a good quarterback. He's definitely a huge project. Yeah, I mean, it could have been Florida's system, but if you just see some of the things he does and the misreads he has, I don't see how anyone could like him. That's just my personal opinion. If y'all see something you like in him, and maybe I'm wrong, tell me. But just everything I've seen, I don't like him at all. I actually like other quarterbacks more than him. I like a Jamie Newman. I like a Brock Purdy better, and I don't like Brock Purdy or a Jamie Newman, to be honest. It's just my personal opinion. But anyways,
Jamie Newman.
I like him. I've not really been like as watching dudes. He's definitely been in some Bears mock drafts, so I've seen a little bit. But anyways, another realistic option for the Bears, and I think it's one of the more realistic ones, is Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I know some people are going to
I don't like Garoppolo.
think different of what I think. I think Garoppolo, of course, injuries are a problem, but if you take away injuries, he's a top 13, 14 quarterback. Say that. his 2019 year, the year he and the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, he had 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on 69% completion percentage. You put that on the Bears with the weapons we have, which I mean, it's not insanely stacked on weapons, but you got some young guys in there who can produce, like a Darnell Mooney. I think Cole Kmet's really underrated. If you bring back A-Rob, you got Allen Robinson. Honestly, I would draft another receiver, even if you do bring back Robinson. And then you look at the defense. Oh, excuse me. If you look at the defense, in my opinion, is still okay. Get some hate. Top 5 unit. I really think so. They're on the field 75% of the time during games. So yeah, their stats are going to go down. We get tired 3 quarters in. We bring in a new defensive coordinator who was actually Vic Fangio's right-hand man in 2018. So I think that is a clear upgrade from Chuck Pagano, who was bottom 3 in the league in blitzing this year. If you're a Chicago team with Roquan Smith as your middle linebacker or Danny Trevathan, who can get to the quarterback, you have to blitz. You can't play this rush 4, just put everybody back. Yeah, it don't give up touchdowns. Yeah, it's a good red zone defense, but it's not explosive at all. It is nothing like the Bears defense we are used to seeing. Nothing like it at all. And yeah, some people are going to say Khalil Mack had a down year. But if you look at Pro Football Focus, who I actually do like a lot, and I actually believe some of their stuff.
I like Pro Football Focus, but I don't like a lot of their rankings.
I don't like it either, but they take everything into consideration. Quarterback pressures.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Everything. I mean, a 93 rating, number 1 in the NFL. I mean, that's something. I mean, even if you don't like Pro Football Focus, how can you just say, "Oh, that's bullshit"? He's not even Sedarius Smith is better.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Like, oh my god, dude! Like, calm down.
Bro, Sedarius Smith is better.
Fuck me sideways. Think that.
That's hilarious.
That blows my mind how people can think that, and I think you would agree. Like, that's just
no, it does.
That's just insane.
Zadarius Smith's a hell of a player, but he's no Khalil Mack.
No, I mean, let's just be real here. If you take Zadarius off the Packers, it's going to hurt. Because is it going to have the impact if you take Khalil Mack off the Bears? Like, if you take Khalil Mack off the Bears, we're probably not even ranked in the top 20 on defense.
That's what I was about to say. If you take Khalil Mack off that Bears team, that's not a good defense.
No, not at all. I think it would probably be like 23rd ranked, somewhere around there. Because, I mean, yeah, we do have some solid other players. And Akeem Hicks, who honestly might not even be there next year. Got a Kyle Fuller, who I think is a tad overpaid, but he's still a true number 1 corner. You got an up-and-coming Jalen Johnson. You got Roquan Smith, who was... Okay, let's just talk about this for a second. How did Roquan Smith not make the Pro Bowl?
Popularity contest, my boy.
Or a All-Pro 1 or whatever. Oh, what do they call that? I feel stupid.
All-Pro.
I think it's All-Pro first name. Yeah, I was right. Okay.
All-Pro.
I mean, he made All-Pro second team. And yeah, I like Fred Warner, and I do like a Bobby Wagner, which obviously Bobby Wagner's name is huge, and obviously he's probably going to get it even if he had a down year. I don't think he did. I don't know his stats that well, but he had a good year. I mean, Roquan had, okay, I pretty much know this, 139 tackles while missing game. Is it 2 games or 1 game? I think it was 2 games. 139 tackles. 18 or... I think it's like 14 tackles for loss. He had 4 sacks and 2 interceptions. He was all over the place. Debatably, he was a top 3 middle linebacker this season. I personally think so. I mean, who would you put over him this season? I mean, Darius Leonard, maybe. I mean, their stats are similar.
I'd put Darius Leonard over him, but I'd say he's definitely 3 or 4, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he had better year than Fred Warner. He had better than Bobby Wagner. Obviously, Bobby Wagner's probably the better overall player, but just particularly on this season, I'm taking Roquan all day. Of course, on this season. If you told me who would I rather have straight up and who's the better player, I'm obviously going to say Bobby Wagner. So Bobby Wagner's a beast. But moving on. Okay, I want to get back to the Garoppolo situation real quick.
All right.
He brought his team to the Super Bowl. It's got to stand for something.
He brought his team?
Yeah, he got carried by... well, the defense, but he
I don't like
contributed. I
Garoppolo.
will
If
say
anyone
that.
doesn't know, I don't like him.
I do like him. I really do. I feel like he has to have a good system, a lot of play actions, a lot of bootlegs. This is my this is my opinion. It would be a last resort option for me, but I would take him over Matt Ryan because I know the pricing, the asking price wouldn't be nearly as much. Nearly as much. I mean, you could probably snag him for a third and a sixth. On Matt Ryan, I feel like Matt Ryan's gonna be like a second, fourth, maybe a third, like all that together. Like I just plus the age. But I also feel like if you were to do that over Matt Ryan, I would bring in like a Jameis Winston also. Maybe try to move the Foles contract. I don't know. Maybe I oversaid. I might would rather have him over Matt Ryan. Obviously, I think Matt Ryan's a better quarterback. Take age into consideration. Take contracts because Jimmy Garoppolo's on a very friendly team, like friendly deal. You could cut him after this season and have like 2 million dead cap space. That's all it is. So I mean, I could get by it. Of course, it would be a last resort option for me. I would probably look into Matt Ryan first, but I know they're going to ask for a lot. But anyways, moving on. Another quarterback. I think this is probably the least of it happening. Maybe like a Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
How would you feel about that?
I I'd take Garoppolo over Bridgewater.
Yeah,
I
I would
would.
too, especially with the like friendly team deal. While
Bridgewater's a hell of
Teddy,
a player, but I would take Garoppolo over Bridgewater, and
he's like
I don't typically care for Garoppolo.
he is right there in the average category, in my opinion. He's just right there sitting. I think Garoppolo is average to above average. The only thing holding me back is the injuries. If you take away the injuries, I think he's an above average quarterback, maybe like 13th in the NFL, 14th. You may
Yeah,
disagree with that, but I just like the fact that he was the quarterback on a Super Bowl winning team without one of these wide receivers like a Hopkins, like a Julio. Yeah, he had Kittle, but wide receiver is a more important position than tight end. I think we can both agree on that
yeah, easily.
for a quarterback. For a quarterback. And, I mean, he had Manuel Sanders. He had Debo Samuel. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. He had Mostert out of the backfield,
Mm-hmm.
who, in my opinion, he's kind of overrated. I think so. I mean,
He had a good
that's just what
playoff
I
run,
think.
and then
Yeah, but everyone was acting like he was a top five quarterback, or not quarterback, but running
I was
back
about to
after
say
that.
he's
There's
a.
just,
I was about to say when did he turn into a quarterback?
yeah,
I like
but
Mostert,
yeah, I
but
mean,
Mostert had a good playoff run, and then everyone was kind of hyping him up.
and then he got hurt all year, but when he was healthy, he played good. So
He
maybe I
played
could be
good,
wrong.
yeah.
Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he is legit, like people say, but I'm not going on based off two playoff games. I'm
No,
sorry.
definitely
I
not.
mean, I don't even think he broke 1,000 yards that season.
He didn't. But you got to think though. I mean, he was fighting for carries with basically 60 other starting caliber running backs that they have.
Yeah, 49ers offense is ran weird at the running back position, but I
But
mean it works. And Kyle Shanahan is an offensive genius.
he is.
Yeah. Off topic about the Bears, but Trey Lance to San Francisco, I think that'd be scary.
If Trey Lance goes to San Francisco, he opens up that offense so much.
I agree. I mean, I feel like he's just perfect for it. He can throw the ball deep. He's perfect for those bootlegs and play action. He's got mobility. There's not very much film to watch on him, but he's accurate enough from what I've seen, especially on the deep balls.
Yeah, he is pretty well.
That's just, I mean, he's really a quarterback. There's so many question marks, like
Some people still
the
rank
lack
him
of
above
talent.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I don't see that. Sorry for
I
Zach
can.
Wilson. He's number
I'm gonna
four
be
quarterback for
honest,
me.
not over Zach Wilson, but I can see it over Fields. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get some shit for that, but I can
I
see
don't
it over
like Fields
Fields.
either. I don't mean you agree on that. We're just not very big on Fields.
I think
I mean,
Fields with the right system, the right coaching, and time, Fields can be a pretty good quarterback. But I don't think. I don't know. I think that's a topic for another time.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I really like him, but I don't like him like other people do. I just don't. Anyways, moving back to the Bears. Obviously, the number one dude you want to get. Yeah, you have to give up a shit ton. But Deshaun Watson on the Chicago Bears is absolutely filthy. I mean, it don't get better than that. The top defense we've got, Deshaun Watson at quarterback, that pretty much fixed your offensive struggles. Because, I mean, let's just be real here. The offensive line picked it up towards the end of the season. I think anyone could agree on that.
They did, but
Especially
can they hold that out for an entire season?
I think so. You're bringing back James Daniels, your best offensive lineman. Plus, you found a golden gem in Sam Mustipher at center. I mean, he played like a top 10 center this season whenever he did play. You have Cody Whitehair, who's that like just very reliant.
He's solid. He gets the job done.
He's very solid. I mean, he don't really do anything like amazingly well. They just don't do anything bad. Who's very above average. I mean, I love the guy too. He's a really good guy. Plus, you found Alex Bars, who I think he's average. He definitely wasn't as good as Mustipher, but he played really good. The only question mark I have is that left tackle position. Maybe even the right tackle. Personally, I would put Bars at right tackle because he played it in college. It's just my opinion. Plus, he played it 2 games this season. So, if you get a left tackle, I think this offensive line could be top 10-ish, maybe like towards the end of top 10. But, I mean, it was very solid towards the end of the season. It really was, without James Daniels, too. And I'm not sure if you like James Daniels, but I really like James Daniels. I think he's really underrated.
I don't know much about him. I mean, obviously I know who he is, but...
His nickname's the Black Hulk. See that? He's huge, dude. I mean, he's insanely huge. And he was playing like a top 5 guard before he left. Of course, it was only like, I think, 4 or 5 games. I think he got hurt right before the Tampa game. Yeah, it was a small sample size, but my God, dude, he's young. I think it's his second year in the league. I think he was a 5th-round pick or 6th. I think it's a 6th. But, I mean, he's going to be good. I mean, I think he'll be an all-pro, Pro Bowl type of guy. But you bring in Watson behind that, and you bring back Allen Robinson, which I doubt at this point, that is disgusting. That could potentially be a top 12 not defense, but offense. Maybe even top 10. Maybe I'm overputting that. I don't know. But I feel like I'm forgetting someone on the quarterback spot. I'm not really going to count rookies on this one. I'm really just going after like trade targets, but obviously the Mac Jones. I don't see any of the top 4 guys. I don't know if you do. I just don't see us trading up.
Nah.
That many spots. Just don't see that. So yeah, maybe a Mac Jones, maybe a Kyle Trask. Oh my God. If we drafted Kyle Trask, now we're going to love the episode after the draft that day. I'm just saying. Holy crap. Oh, you'd be hearing so much shit. Oh, man. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I mean, obviously Stafford, I would have said before he got traded. And honestly, I would have loved Stafford. We was actually in the mix for him. And I probably wouldn't have gave up 2 firsts, but maybe a first, a second. I would have gave up a decent, hefty bit. Because, I mean, that's just a position we've needed badly to be a top contender. Because if we have that quarterback, I'm sorry, but we're making the Super Bowl. Maybe, well, it depends who. I feel like you are definitely going to make it to the playoffs. I don't think there's any debate about that. Yeah, maybe even as a wild card, I think you and the Packers are battled out. But if we had a solid quarterback, I think we overtop Packers in the NFC North. I mean, shit. What were we?
They lose A-Rod.
Yeah. I mean, this is my opinion. I think A-Rod stays.
Yeah, I do too.
For one more season. Or at least one more. But you can tell he's clearly frustrated with Matt LaFleur. Clearly.
I don't think Matt LaFleur likes him.
I mean, who does? Fucking bitch. But anyways, obviously there's guys like Carson Wentz, but I would never do that. I'm sorry. He's not who he was. His contract is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's other guys. Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's just it would just be another Nick Foles move. See, like, yeah, he might be a tad better than Foles, but his magic, it's like when you expect him to be in the spotlight. Yeah, I mean, I'm just throwing some names out there in free agency. I mean, if you brought him in, he would be in the spotlight, so he'd suck. But, like, let's say someone else came in and got hurt, he'd come in and just dominate. Like, he's so He's kind of has like a Nick Foles story to him,
Bro,
if you know what
that's
I
the
mean.
game plan. Start Mitch next year, let Mitch get hurt, and then bring in Fitzmagic.
Oh my god. Oh, that's another thing too. I think there's maybe a 5% chance this happens. I really just think we've moved on. Bringing back Trubisky, yeah, he played better towards the end of the season.
Move on.
That's
The
what I'm
Mitchell
saying. Move
Trubisky
on
experiment is a fail. Move on.
terribly. I'm sorry, but that 2018 season was a fluke. Defense always put him in good field positions, good spots on the field. Like it was just like
Hey,
it's a
that's the
more
Cody Parkey year, isn't it?
Yep.
Greatest kicker in NFL history. Is he still in Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, yeah, he's actually been good for Cleveland too.
He has been good for Cleveland.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
That one kick overshadows his career.
Yep. If I'm forgetting the name on the quarterback spot for the Bears, which I don't think I am, as far as like the top guys go, let me know in the comments. I know some other Bears fans may watch this. I know of one or two for sure. So just let me know. But anyways, let's talk about your Titans for a second.
Actually, I want to save that for another episode, and I'll tell you why. I'll text you and tell you, but I've got some things I got to do. I'll text you and tell you what it
All
is.
right.
Let's save that for another episode. We're already at almost an hour anyway.
Oh shit.
So, with that being said, this has been the return of week by week. Hopefully, we're back consistently. We think we will be. Next episode will probably be Super Bowl reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So next time y'all hear us, we'll know who the champion is. I'll probably talk about Titans, and we got a lot of other stuff to cover. But
Yep.
yeah, man. With that being said, talk to y'all later.